special and she reckless. Baby, you're my bestest friend. Yeah, she my bestie. My love for you is endless. Nobody else can end it. And when I get the money back, then baby girl, you can spend it.
Hey you guys, thank you for watching my channel. So this video is all going to be about culture shock. Culture shock is a term that we use in psychology. And pretty much what it is when you go to a culture that's somewhere that's not yours and you start to see the difference, okay? And you have to kind of adapt to someone else's culture. So what I did was, you're going to see the link below right here where I'm going to place the full definition of culture shock. Okay, so I like to be a little specific. So when I say we, my sister and I, we did a study abroad to Paris, France. And I'm just going to tell you about all the culture shocks that I've seen when I was there. The study abroad was for 1 semester, which was 1 month. And it was in Paris, France. And I love Paris. I wish I could have stayed longer. So much so to whenever it was time for us to leave, my sister and I literally almost got left. We didn't have anything packed. We literally had to just throw everything in. So much so to where I bought some really, really cute shoes from Paris. And it's still in Paris. I miss them. RIP to those shoes. Okay, I'm back. All right, so this is our ticket. Well, this is my ticket on our way to Paris. And then what happened was we went to Atlanta. And then we went to Atlanta. From there, we went to Germany. And then from Germany, then we landed in Paris. The flight was about, I would say it was about 12 to 15 hours long. Now we went to Paris in 2012. So this is a while back. And I just was thinking about culture shock, so that's why I made this video. So yeah, so this was a while back. It was our first flight. Okay, so I'm from Georgia, as people say, flew it out. So we went to Paris, and one thing that was so scary to me is the pilot. This was after like 9/11 and all that stuff. After 9/11 happened. And the pilot, he sounded like he was like from like Arabian or Indian descent. I'm not quite sure. I'm not being racist, but just this was after all of that happened. So we were so scared. And he kept saying, oh, we're going to land. We're about to land. We're about to land. And I look out my window and all I see is like water everywhere. And I'm just like, where are we landing? But eventually we did land on ground. So scary. I don't know why pilots do that. Why do they say we're about to land and they see all this ocean water? Do they not know that scares me? I guess it's not about me. Okay. So yeah, so we landed in Paris and we were like so jet lagged. Now, I want to let you know, I did a study abroad, meaning that it wasn't just my sister and I, it was literally like a whole group of college students, and we were all there to study. Not to study, but to enjoy the environment. We were studying pretty much everything. I went there to study French, and also the Afro diaspora, and it was pretty cool. The reason I liked, we went through the European Council. That's the group we went through to do the study abroad. It was pretty cool because they didn't give us so much work till we was like in our room studying all the time. They gave us a little bit of work so we can, study a little bit and also enjoy the culture. This was good for me because I love studying culture. So where we stayed at, I tried to take little notes because it's so much. So we stayed in the FIOP, and see if I can find it. Tell you some culture shocks. So there wasn't a language barrier, so that helped us. So our professors was somewhat of a parental person for us as well, so we could go to them if something happens. And then we had one French teacher, which is my French teacher, who can kind of talk for us if we needed anyone to talk for us because he was French, Yeah, so we stayed in a hostel called the FIOP, and it's a really nice hostel. It's the first time I stayed there. So we're talking about culture shock. So the first culture shock when I was there was the showers. Y'all, I'm not saying this is everywhere in Paris. I'm only referring to the FIOP where I stayed, which is kind of like a dorm. it's a hostel. It was like a dorm pretty much. My sister and I was roommates, which I was so happy because I don't know how I could roommate with someone else. It had been the first time. But the showers. So whenever you take a shower there, like the shower would stay on for like 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes it'll shut off. So it was this button, you had to keep hitting the button and then the water will return. I did that like probably about 3 times because I take very, very long showers. So another culture shock I had was the bathrooms, public bathrooms. So I remember we went to Luxembourg Park, went to the Louvre, went to a lot of different places. And my first culture shock was when I went to the restroom. I'm used to, hey, this is just the women's bathroom. I saw a woman go in there. I couldn't, so I was like, hey, let me go in there too. Then a guy followed behind me. I'm like, where is he going? Then I noticed, hey, that's a culture shock. Here, women and men share the same bathroom. This was in 2012. So I had to get used to that in parks and everything, just knowing that a man is going to be in the bathroom too. They share it. I can say Paris is so safe. I felt so safe there. When I went to Luxembourg Park, I noticed that children were just roaming around freely. It's like they didn't have anything to worry about. Here in America, you literally have to like watch your kids because anything can happen to them. One thing I noticed is the security. The security in Paris is awesome. Like when we went to the parks or the malls, they didn't just have like regular police officers. It's almost like they're literally like their army men there. Like they had like the huge guns. Let me show you the picture of them. Yeah, they had like these huge guns and everything, but they was very, very nice people. Yeah. So another thing is when you're there, they like for you to speak their language. We stayed in a hostel, so even there, like they wanted you to at least try. You don't have to be perfect, but at least try to speak their language, or you're gonna go hungry. Okay. They have people there that speak English, and some people want to practice their English so much until they're walking up to you like, oh, you speak English? And then they'll try to have a conversation with you. So yeah, just try to learn it. Have a translator or something. Oh, and also in that hostel, there were no TVs. And because there were no TVs, that kind of like forced us to get up and go out. Don't stay in a room, which is kind of a good thing. When you're in a new country, you want to go out and explore the culture. You want to kind of like be intertwined in it. There was no AC. Also, personal space. That was a culture shock for me, personal space. So here in America, if everybody's waiting to get on the elevator, you get on the elevator, all right? If it's empty, one person might go to the right side of the elevator, one might go to the left, but you kind of give everybody their kind of personal space, right? Not in Paris. So I got on the elevator, it was empty, right? I get on, I go to my corner. Someone else gets on, she goes literally this close to me. And I just was not used to that. I'm just like, can you go over a little bit? I didn't tell her that because I'm in a new country, so I have to go and do the things that they do. So I noticed that personal space it's not really there. I don't have a personal bubble. Yeah, so that was good. That was a culture shock. Another culture shock I had was, let me say, the food is really, really, really good. I like the food there. I ordered a salad, grilled chicken salad, and I ordered ranch. There was no ranch. They came back with mayonnaise. Y'all, let me tell you, if you don't know me, I like mayonnaise. I do. But one time I went to McDonald's or something like that, and they put a glob of mayonnaise, and it really messed it up for me. Like, I can't eat a glob anymore like that. Like, if I get mayonnaise, it has to be very little. But, yeah, they gave me mayonnaise for my salad. And I was just like, no, I didn't know. I know now. Yeah, so that's good. And let's see what else. Oh, the cleanliness is very clean there. I'm not used to in America recycling a lot. I just wasn't used to it. You have a trash can, you just throw the trash away. But there on every corner, well, at least the place where I stayed, every corner they had like a little recycling bin and a trash can. And if you threw a bottle in the wrong section, people would literally look at you like, that's not the right way. You need to do it the right way. So I had to kind of learn plastic versus this and kind of separate, because they really do recycle there. I also like how they had the portable bathrooms. The portable bathrooms, an area that we stayed in, was it was very clean. The thing is, after you use it and you step out, you press a button and it cleans itself. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. Because I'm a country girl. I ain't never seen that before. And yeah, I don't know if a lot of places do it, but I know they did it there. There was no AC in our hostel. We didn't stay in a fancy hotel. We just there was no AC. And then also in the museums, there weren't any AC. So don't expect to feel AC all the time. So there was no AC. Another thing that you have to know is shoes. I advise you to bring you a pair of tennis shoes, some type of shoes, because you're gonna be doing a lot of walking. I brought nothing but sandals, and a lot of my nice, cute sandals are now toe up, and I can't wear them anymore because I did so much walking. It's a lot of walking. Very, very a lot of walking. Another thing I had to get used to was the language. I'm so used to here, and in here in our country, you'll hear Spanish sometimes, but the majority of the language you're gonna hear is English. So being in a country where I'm not hearing my language, I'm not hearing English a lot, it really, really kind of got me in a space okay, now I'm in someone else's culture. Now I'm the one that doesn't know the language. And I now have so much passion, so much understanding for people who do not speak English or do not speak the language of the country that they're living in and they're living day to day. I have so much kudos to y'all. I wish I can do that. I'm trying to learn French a little bit more. Even though I studied French in Paris, it was more of a culture thing for me. I learned a little bit of French. I had to get through a little bit, but it was more of a culture thing, so I'm not that good at it yet. Yeah, so that was good. So during the time frame that we went, which was we left June the 28th. So after that, it was during the time of Bastille Day. Bastille Day is a big thing for people in France. It's their Independence Day, something like our 4th of July. So we went to the Eiffel Tower. Oh my God, it was so packed, but it was so much fun. Like the subway, the metro, or the MARTA I think it was called Metro there. The Metro was so packed with so many people, but it was good because we got to meet people. So it's pretty nice. One thing about the Eiffel Tower, it's everybody knows it, huge thing. It's kind of the area that it's in. It reminds me of like a city market in Savannah, or either like one of the parks here in Atlanta. It's just a place where everybody goes, hang out. You may have a picnic, just have fun with friends. And then at night, at a certain time, the Eiffel Tower lights up. So here's a clip of it that we caught. Yeah, it's so beautiful at night. So during the daytime, we actually had a day to actually climb the Eiffel Tower, and it was awesome. It was a little workout, but when we made it to the top, it was well worth it. Here's a little bit of pictures of how it looks whenever we're looking down from the Eiffel Tower. That was a really, really cool thing. So it was really, really cool. Let me see what else. So while we were in Paris, we wanted to just go see a movie. So the movie that we saw was Batman. And during that time, while we was in Paris, but we were hearing stories about at home, someone had went and literally shot up a movie theater. So I was so scared, but we went, and I was just kind of keep an eye out. I want to make sure that nobody shoots up this place and try to copy off of them. So, but the movie was really, really good. Also, my sister and I were looking for somewhere to kind of go and watch a play. I always want to see a play. And we stumbled upon this older woman and man, wife and husband, and they had paid for these really, really expensive tickets. and they couldn't go. So they were just like, are y'all trying to go to this play? And I was like, wasn't, but we can. So we went into this very expensive play. I'm gonna have to put the link of the play down below, but I didn't understand nothing that was going on. The whole play was in French, but all I knew was I had the best seats, and I was able to see a good play. And I was there amongst people who had money. So it was good to know. That was awesome. Let me see, climb the Eiffel Tower. So we met so many nice people, so many people from different colleges that went with us to the study abroad. Oh my goodness. I had so much fun meeting everyone. That's something that all of us will always have together. We all went to a study abroad in Paris together. So that's always a connection we'll always have. I actually still have a picture of when we went together. Back then, I was very, very religious. So I wasn't able to drink, because back then I didn't drink. I didn't smoke or anything. I still don't smoke, but I may drink wine a little bit every now and then here. But back then I didn't do any drinking alcohol at all. So I wasn't able to explore the clubs as much and the drinks as much. So I can't tell you about that aspect. But I just want to say kudos to the girls and the guys that we went to Paris with. They were so nice. They respected our religion because we were very, very religious back then. So thank you for that, y'all. Kudos for y'all. And I hope that I can hang out with y'all now so we can actually have a glass of wine together, because we couldn't do it back then. And I was so shy, but Paris opened me up just a little bit. Another thing that I went to was a church, right? I was going to a Pentecostal church back then. I mean, the kind where people are like running around, shouting, praising God, like Pentecostal, if you know what Pentecostal is. Okay. So I was looking for a church like that, and I could not find one. Not saying that they don't have churches like that. I'm just saying that I couldn't find it in the area that I was in. So we went to this Roman Catholic church. That's my first time ever going to a Roman Catholic church. That was the most peaceful service I have ever been to in my life. It was so peaceful. I even like how they have like they walk down the middle of the aisle with the smoke to represent God's spirit. Oh my God, it was so peaceful. I really wish I can go back and do that again, just to kind of get centered. I don't know if they have them here. I have to look it up, but I really enjoyed that experience. It was so peaceful. God was definitely in that place. It was so peaceful. Yep. So I believe that's pretty much it when it comes to culture shocks, because we did a lot. Also, I had never did public transportation before. Even in Savannah, when I did do a bus, it was only to go to the 4th of July. But I was so used to always driving. So Paris was literally like my first experience of a big city where I had to fly. I had to use the metro. I had never did it before. So it was pretty cool. When we got there, the European Council, which is the study abroad group that we went through, they pretty much showed us how to use the MARTA. They showed us how to use the metro, and it was very organized. So my first time using a train, it was very, very organized. I had to learn how to use a map. I always said I would never use a map, but I had to learn it then. Yes, I learned to use a map, and it's pretty compact on there. But I love how it's on time. It's on time. I love that, like clockwork. So that's everything I have to say about the study abroad in France and the culture shock I had between two different cultures. So I hope y'all enjoyed this clip, and have a good day.